afternoon, dear viewers. Again, we take you back to the holy city of Touba for a new episode of your weekly informative rendezvous 7-5. Shortly, we will read you the headlines. The President of the Republic, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, launched on Monday the work of the Conference of Public Administrators and Managers, which he considers to be an unprecedented meeting aimed at profoundly modernizing the public and parapublic sectors and to make them much more effective. For the head of state, the transformation of the civil service is an absolute priority. Thus, he decided to launch the new technological deal on February 24 in order to improve the efficiency of public services while meeting citizens' expectations. As for Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, who chaired the closing of the conference, he reiterated the state's commitment to strengthening accountability and ensuring that every cent spent in public finances be justified before the citizens. In Abidjan, the president of the Senegalese parliament pleaded for the creation of a space for dialogue where African parliamentarians can meet and exchange and build bridges between people. El Malik Ndiaye took part in the opening ceremony of the first ordinary session of the year 2025 of the National Assembly of Côte d'Ivoire at the invitation of his counterpart, Adama Bictogo. Mr. Ndiaye urged his fellow presidents of parliament in the ECOWAS zone to work on strengthening the legislative texts of different countries in order to respond to the aspirations of the people. The Senegalese Chief of Defense Staff, the General Mbaye Cissé, chaired on Wednesday at the Admiral Faye Gassama Naval Base the celebration of the 50 years of the National Navy. The event is under the theme National Navy 50 Years in the Service of Defense and Law Enforcement at Sea. Taking stock of the missions and achievements accomplished during the previous year, the Chief of Staff of the National Navy, Rear Admiral Abdou Sen, recalled this history of the celebration, which constitutes an act of high patriotic significance. The Justice Minister Ousmane Diagne revealed on Thursday that 3 billion fines remain uncovered at the Dakar court. He was chairing the National Conference of Chiefs of Public Prosecutors. The theme focuses on revitalization of sentencing offices and response to prison overcrowding. During this conference, the Keeper of the Seals also spoke on the Farbangom case, stressing that this case has nothing political and that's the incentive which directly sent the case to the prosecutors. And we stay with the case of Farbangom. The National Assembly was in plenary session on Friday to rule on the lifting of Farbangom's parliamentary immunity. Indeed, the other committee recommended the lifting of the MP's immunity after examining the file. The president of the Council of Broadcasters and Press Publishers reiterated his full availability to participate in a renewed dialogue with the state. During a press conference at the Babacar Touré Press House, Mamadou Ibra Kane invited the authorities to dialogue. He thus reminded the statement of the President Bassirou Diomaye Faye for a renewed dialogue with the press. The Minister of Interior and Public Security has assured of the perfect organization of the 145th edition of the Appel of Seydina Limamou Laye. In the presence of state services and members of the organizing committee of the event, General Jean-Baptiste Tine insisted on monitoring state commitments. This year's edition is scheduled for January 30 and 31st in 3 parts, comprising Ngo, Cambérène, and Yoff. The Doutasek Culture House hosts today a panel devoted to the commitment to independence and the development of Senegal of the President of the Council, Mamadou Dia. A date coinciding with the anniversary of the death of the latter on January 25, 2009. Placed under the theme Mamadou Dia, a commitment to independence and development of Senegal, the meeting launches a program of activities called the Major Conference of Dupasek. And thank you very much for your attention. See you next week for a new edition of 7-5.